Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, welcome to Life After High School. We are going to jump right into this thing, man. We are not going to waste no time. Today, we are talking about stop playing, right? Stop playing. High school is not a game. It's not a game. And I find so many times, man, students are going through school, and because it doesn't cost you anything, because you do not see the effect that it has on you long term right now, you decide that you're going to play with it. You have a lot of time, right? So we go to school and it's all about the games. It's all about the the ha ha. It's all about what's not important, right? I don't need this class for this and I don't need this class for that. Well, you don't know exactly what it is you want to do yet. And because of that, the class doesn't make sense, all right? Over the next 30 days, we're going to talk about that. We're going to make sure that you showing up to school, right? First of all, you're going in the summertime. So we want to make sure you maximize your summer, all right? Because one thing I can tell you, you're going to have a group of kids that go back to school after the summer and they feel lost more than they did when they was going to school on a daily basis, okay? So now you take the summer, you waste all your time, you get back to school, you feel lost, okay? You put yourself in a deeper hole, it's harder to get out of, and you start going downhill. And when it's time to fight to get everything back, you're feeling like you don't have a shot in the dark, okay? So we are going to make sure that does not happen to you over the summer, man. So the next 30 days, I am going to give you the ultimate game, all right? The ultimate game to help you. Let's dive into it. What I did and what I'm going to do for every day for the next 30 days is I'm going to come to you with 3 bullet points. These 3 bullet points are to help you maximize your summer, okay? Help you to maximize your summer. So I want you to understand, number one, why drifting leads to long-term regret, right? Drifting through life, drifting through the next hour, it leads to long-term regrets. Let me give you a quick example. When I was young, all I ever wanted to do was be a cop. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a cop. I used to see the cops come through my neighborhood, and I didn't like the way they was acting. I didn't like the way they was treating people, talking to people, anything, right? So I said, man, listen, you know what? When I get older, I'm going to be a cop. I was 5 years old. I never forget it. I even talk about it in my book, but I wanted to be a cop. But everything that I was doing from the time I got into junior high and beyond said the total opposite, right? Said the total opposite. So I didn't really pay attention that if this is the path I wanted to be on, it started now. It started when I was in junior high. It started when I was in high school. It started. Why? Because there's certain activities you don't need to be a part of. There's certain activities that you need to be a part of. But I didn't have a clue, right? So I was drifting. I was drifting through the days with the words, with the phrases. I want to be a cop. When I get older, I can't wait. I'm going to be a cop. And I'm going to make sure that when the cops come through my neighborhood, they're nice. They treat people the way they're supposed to be treated, right? It sounds good, but I was drifting through every day. And because I was drifting through every day, now I'm sitting in front of you and I'm 48. It's too late for me to go be a cop. When I decided I wanted to make the change, there were so many things I was supposed to go do before that. I didn't. So now when I watch a cop show, a movie, and it's a good movie, a good cop movie, I'm like, man, I missed out. I had fun doing that. And I feel all types of regrets, right? Am I mad about it? No. But what it helped me to understand is I have to get to the point on my own that I'm not going to drift through the month. I'm not going to drift through the year. Why? Because I know if I say I want to do something and all I do is keep drifting and don't put in the work, I'm going to have that same feeling of watching a movie like, man, I could have been a cop. I'd have been a great cop. Man, I would have been a great detective. I'd have been a great knock. You see what I mean? All I have now is the idea. I would have. You're at the point right now in your life, you don't have to have the I would have. You can actually go do, okay? So drifting through life, drifting through high school, there's long-term regrets that come with that. Drifting through life, long-term regrets. Drifting through the day. Watch this. Let's do this. Drifting through the day, drifting through the week, drifting through high school, drifting through life equals long-term regrets. So you got to ask yourself, man, do I want to Do I want to go ahead and go through all the pain now of making this happen, figuring it out, all the frustrations? Or do I want to be later on in life where I got to figure things out and so many doors closed on me? Because there's some doors that don't stay open forever. Can you become successful at any point in life? Absolutely. Whatever success is to you, right? Absolutely. But there's certain things that the window closes, right? Due to age, time, it closes. I can't go be a cop now. 48 years old. Can't go be a cop. Too old, right? So therefore, I watched the door close. I was like, man, I'm going to go be a U.S. Marshal, right? I'm going to go do it. Well, you have to have a 2-year associate's degree, which I was 35 at the time, and the latest you can get in is 37. So I would have never made that, right? You had to have 2 years of working in a federal facility. I was 35 at the time. I couldn't do that. It was impossible at 35 and a half to go get 2 years of working to find a spot and then go get 2 years of experience working there, right? So I watched it close. So what I'm saying to you is, when you're drifting through things, it leads to long-term regrets. Let's avoid that. So let's not drift through the summer, right? Let's not drift through the summer. Let's go ahead and put in the work we need to put in. So when we get back to school at the end of the summer, we can see the results, right? We can see the difference. Number two, what playing small looks like in real life, right? Playing small, what it looks like in real life, it looks like you get to sit on the sidelines and you get to watch everybody else win. That's what it looks like. Playing small, right? Playing small, for me, I want you to get your own definition of what playing small is. When I'm thinking about playing small, it's I have an idea, but I don't execute it when it's not convenient. I only execute things when it's convenient. That's playing small. Right? That's my definition of playing small. Only executing things when it's convenient. So if you're only doing things when it's convenient, you're playing small. You don't really believe that you can have it. You don't really believe that someone like you can get the things that you're dreaming about, can get the things that you're watching on TV. You think it's only made for them. Now, I promise you they made more. I promise you there's more than one person living the lifestyle you admire, right? The difference is you're playing small. You're only doing things when it's convenient. You're only doing things when you feel like it. You're only doing things when you feel good, right? When I go back and I look at the greats, there's one basketball game Michael Jordan was in. And in this basketball game, he had the flu. And he put up, I think he put up like 40 to 6. It was either 40 or 60. It was one of the two, right? And they won the game. And it was like, yo, Mike, you don't need to play like you got the flu. Mike said, nah, this is an important game. I'm here. Right. And I remember when I was younger, because we had a game and we was able to play at the college arena, which was way bigger than our gym. Right. We was playing at the Providence where the Providence Friars played in Rhode Island at the big conventions. The Civic Center is what they called it back then. Right. And it was a big game and I was sick and I was like, yo, Jordan didn't call out when he had the flu. Jordan showed up. I'm going to show up. I went to the game, right? We played in front of all these people, and it was only during halftime I put up like 5-6 points. You see what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed it, and it was an experience that I would never forget. I wasn't playing it small. I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway. So when you think about it, right, playing small, what is it costing you, and how does it affect you in real life? What it means is whether you decide to go start a career and get a job somewhere, you're calling out, you're taking all your sick days. You're not really reliable. You're not even that sick, but you're calling out anyway. You're playing small. You can't get that promotion. To get the promotion, we need somebody who's dependable, who's reliable, who's going to go above and beyond, who's going to do things that is not included inside of their description, their job description, right? Who's going to do things before they say, that's not my job. That's not my responsibility. That's not my role. You're going to do it anyway, right? If you don't, you're playing the small, long-term regrets. You will never get anything extra, right? Because you don't get what you want by saying, I'm only going to do the work once I get there. You get what you want by doing the work before the opportunity shows up. Okay. So playing it small will get you to long-term regret, right? Playing it small will get you to long-term regret in real life. So we're not going to play it small. What is playing it small? Only doing it when you feel like it. Only doing it when it's convenient. No, that's playing small. All right. That's playing small. Let's talk about it. How to level up your mindset starting today. Starting today, you will no longer play small. When it's time to do something, I want you to grab your index cards, right? Like you see, I keep index cards all around me all the time, right? I want you to grab your index cards. And on your index cards, I want you to write down what you're going to do today. What you're going to do today. And every night before you go to sleep, I want you to write down what you're going to do the next day. Okay? Now, let me put it in order for you because I want you to really get it. Before you go to sleep tonight, you're going to write down the areas that you dominated in, the areas that you crushed it in, right? I want you to write that down. You dominated in this area, go write it down, okay? You crushed it. I want you to write that down. Where did you drop the ball? What did you mess up? What could you have done differently? What did you avoid, right? Where did you drop the ball? I want you to write that down every night before you go to sleep. Where you dominated, where you dropped the ball, okay? Second thing I want you to do is I want you to write down, what are you going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for tomorrow? And be detailed, right? Be detailed. So on your flashcard, right? On your flashcard, index card, whatever you want to call it, you're going to write down the list of things you have to do, right? The list of things that you're going to get done. Now, it doesn't matter if you feel like it, doesn't matter if it's convenient, doesn't matter. You are going to do the things on your list. In order to knock out your list, there's going to be things you have to avoid. There's going to be conversations you have to avoid. There's going to be conversations you have to have, right? What it's going to do is it's going to start to let you see that when you have the tough conversation you didn't want to have, it really worked out in your benefit, right? You figured out something new about you. It was uncomfortable, but it got you the results you're looking for, make you feel better. When you don't feel like doing it and you do it anyway, and it gets done, you're going to be like, oh my God, I love that feeling. You're changing the habits that you have, right? You're making sure you don't have the long-term regrets because you're not playing small. And that's what we're going to start doing today, all right? So what I want you to add to your exercise today is, before you go to sleep, you do what? You write down where you dominated, where you dropped the ball, okay? You also write down the things you have to do tomorrow. What are the things you have to do tomorrow? Write them down. No exceptions, they get done. People call you up, your best friend, hey, come hang out. Nope, can't hang out, got to finish my list, right? You don't want to do that, but once you get it done and you're done with that list, you're going to feel phenomenal, all right? You're going to feel phenomenal. And the better you feel, the better results you have. It's just how it works, all right? Listen, we're going to do this every day, every morning, 30 straight days. Today is day one. We're going to do it every day, 30 straight days. I'm going to give you this life after high school work. Let's jump into this real quick, right? Before I jump off, I want y'all, let's see, let's do this. Let's share this. All right. Before I jump off, man, I want you guys to get this information real quick. Okay. Y'all already know I'm always talking about the 4 C's. The 4 C's is extremely important. Okay. Extremely important. So how to master the 4 C's. Number one, well, let's do this first, right? How mastering the 4 C's will change your life. Let me stick to this. I was definitely about to get off of the slide, right? I was about to go somewhere else. But think about this, right? When you understand and apply the 4 C's, you stop making excuses and you start creating opportunities for yourself. You see what I mean? This is just what I'm talking about. When you don't feel like doing it, you do it anyway. You start creating the opportunities. Why does the 4 C's help? Because the first C is what? Commitment. Commitment. So when you're committed to getting better, you can't say, I'm going to do it later. You can't say, I don't feel like it. You have to do it when it's time to do it, right? When you said you're going to do it. So when you understand and apply the 4 C's, you stop making excuses and you start creating opportunity. The more you get out and start working in something, you start to figure out what you know about it, what you don't know about it, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. What are other ways it can be used in industries you never even thought of, right? You have a talent right now. The reason you don't see it as valuable is because you don't know where to put it. When you put your talent in the wrong place, it gives you the wrong feedback. When you put it in the right place, it gives you the right feedback and the right results, okay? The second one, you gain the ability to handle setbacks, stay focused, under pressure, and build real self-belief. So imagine, think about this right now. How many times do you get frustrated and knocked off your game when you have a setback? A lot. Well, what happens when you do this all the time, right? You follow this process all the time. And when you get a setback, you're like, okay, cool, I'm committed to this and I got the courage to stand by it. And I'm going to do just that. What happens when you do that? You start to become a believer that, yo, I can get it done. All I got to do is put my time into it, put my focus time into it, put my mind into it. I can get it done. Okay. Let's go to number three. Number three, by the end of this journey, right, you won't just know the 4 C's, you will live them every day, setting yourself up for a successful future beyond high school. And that is our mission. So we're not going to waste the summer. We are going to be here and we're going to be live every day for the next 30 days, right? Today is day 1. I will see you for the other 29 days. You got to do the work, though. You got to do the work. You got to exercise, right? You got to exercise your mind and you got to dive into this. I will see y'all tomorrow for day 2. What am I going to do when we get to like day 15? You know what I mean? 5, 10, 15, one of them. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. Listen, man, y'all have a good one.